Can you believe this is my 98 Nanoblock Unbag and Build? Oddly enough, even the same numbers on the set. I'm looking forward to this, guys, because it's Metagross. And a really good Psychic Steel type as well. Hey guys, Stormtrooper1 here! Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to my latest Nanoblock Unbag and Build, where we're doing Metagross from Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And of course, one of the most sought out Psychic Steel Pokemon out there in the game. And boy, for real good reason, this thing is a tank. An absolute tank of a Steel and Psychic type Pokemon. If you were not prepared for a Metagross, then you would be in serious trouble. But honestly, this week's video, we're going to be creating our own in Nanoblock form. Who knows, we might actually get to see it in Mega form, in both Nanoblock form and in Pokemon Legend Center A. You never know. So let's see how many bags we've got to work with. We've got 3 bags. Nice and easy, but there's a lot of dark blue in this. But there is a few gray, a couple of, well, some blacks and pink as well. But it should be all, double-sided instructions as well. Ooh, this is going to be good. Well, I'm going to get started on sorting out all the pieces that we'll need for this build, guys. So I'll catch you in about a few minutes. Before we begin the video, I would like to remind everybody that I'm now streaming twice a month here on the YouTube channel. I do it on the first Tuesday of every month, and of course near the end of the month as well. So please do check out my live section on my channel to find out when I'm going. Okay, so with all the bricks now organized and sorted into their groups, it is ready to I am now ready to explain what we need for this nano build. So we have got, we'll deal with the metallic blue because that is the majority of the model here for Metagross. We have got 22 blue 1x1s here, and we have 44, yes, I kid you not, 44 1x3s, and 20 1x2s right here. Then we'll move on to the 1x4s. We have at least 15 of these, and 3 1x6s here. Then we have 16 blue L's right here in the top right corner of the set. Then we've got some 2x4s. We've got 17 of these, and brace yourself for this, 47 2x3s, which is a lot. And I do mean a lot. I mean, take a look, 47 of these. It's a crazy number, I know, but hopefully it will all be explained later on in the video. Then we have 6 gray L's, 15 1x2s, 14 1x1s here, and 5 2x2s. Then we have 8 black 1x2s and 2 pinkish or magenta 1x1s right there in the corner. So that is all the bricks that we need for this build. And I might as well show you guys what we have to do for step 1 because it's fairly easy to do. We basically grab, well, we start off with 2 dark blue 2x4s and a 1x4. And we put the 1x4 in between the 2x4s. So it looks like this. And we get 2 2x3s, and we put one on the bottom half here, and another on the top half right here. And that is it for step 1. I might as well also do step 2, because that just requires us to do 2 2x3s, one here and one here. And then 4 L's, 2 at the front and 2 at the bottom. One here, and then one here, and then one here, and then one here. And that's it. We've done all the way up step 2, and now we're ready to move on to step 3, where it looks like we're going to be adding some more, some parts to the body of Metagross again. We're almost done with step 3 of the build, and right now it does look, it does feel a little unstable, but hopefully in later steps we can resolve this little issue. So first of all, I began with the 4 blue 2x4s and placed all of them in vertical positions. The back row here kind of looks like a 2x8, and if you have one of those in your spare bits somewhere, you can actually use that instead of this. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to be doing what the instructions say. Then I grabbed another two 2x4s and placed them both in vertical positions again. And you have to make sure that there is at least a 2x2 gap in between those 2x4s right here, so that we can then put on this little blue part right here on the model, which should look like this. And what you have to do is you grab a blue 1x4, and then you grab a grey 1x2, and you place it on. It doesn't really matter which side of the 1x4 you put it underneath, but you definitely have to put it on right there. Then we grab a grey 1x1, and then we place it on the innermost part of the 1x2 that we've just done. And then we put one on the left and one on the right side of the underneath the 2x4s that we've done. So it should look like this. And we will have some instability later on in the build, but hopefully in later steps we will have this fixed, and hopefully in step 4 I can have just that. A bit more stability with the model. So we're almost done with step 4 of the build. We just have one little part to add, which I will explain in a moment. So I began right here at the front with these 3 blue 2x4s, where we have 2 right underneath the 1x4s that we did in step 3. Here, both in vertical positions, and they are directly underneath the 1x4s here and here. Then one final 2x4, again in the vertical position at the very front. Very different to what we did in step 3 at the back, because I believe this is going to be the front of Metagross right here, and this is going to be the back. And actually, the back is where we're going to be going to next, because we have to add on the special brick here, because we put on 2 blue 2x3s and position them both in a vertical position so that it forms a 2x6, if you will. Now, if you have a 2x6 in this color, you can use this instead. And directly underneath it, you have to put on a 1x6 from, directly underneath one half of the 2x3s that we've done, so that we can then attach this onto the model as such. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And that is it for step 4. And it will still feel a little bit loose, but hopefully, with the next step, step 5, we can address those issues. Step 5 of the build is now completed, and we've got a bit more stability, which is good, because that's what I was hoping for. Hallelujah. So, first of all, I began with these blue 1x6s, both in horizontal positions. One on the right side here, which is with the top peg of the 1x6 touching the bottom half of the 2x3 that we've done here, and another one on the left side in the same position. Once those were locked firmly in place, I then grabbed 2 1x4s, and again in the horizontal position, place one here and then one here, so that it helps to create the illusion of a 1x5, but we have a 1x1 and the right here at the bottom, at the front, here and here. So it helps it will help keep everything in place, especially when you're moving throughout the rest of the model. Then to help secure the front, I then place a 2x4 in a vertical position right over the top row of pegs of the 2x4 that I've done in step 4. Once once that was done, I then grabbed 2 more 2x3s and did basically what I did with with step 4 with the 2x3s, forming a 2x6, if you will, and done it directly underneath the 2x3s that we've done here, so it kind of forms like a 4x6, if you will. And of course, there is one little 1x2 right here at the front, directly underneath the 2x4 over right here. So that should be it for step number 5. And now I'm ready to move on to step 6, where it looks like we're going to be adding some more details to the head of Metagross. Step 6 actually has 2 little sub-assemblies that we have to do before we carry on with the build. So this one is a completed form of what one of the sub-assemblies should look like. This one is kind of the exact opposite. So we begin with a gray L, where for this half we have the gap facing the northwest, and the gap on this side is facing the northeast. And of course, there will be a blue L where it will connect directly with the gray L, so it kind of forms a nice colored 2x3, if you will. So for the right side, it should look like this, and on the left side, it should be the exact opposite. Now, what we have to do is then grab a blue 2x3 and a gray L, and we have to place the L one of the pegs directly over the middle of the gray L here, and then with its gap, fill it in with a 2x3. So this is what they should both look like, ready for with the sub-assemblies, and then we can attach these onto the model. One here. Is this thing would let me. There we go. And then the other one on the other side. So this is what it should now look like, where we're starting to form Metagross's cross-shaped face. So that should be it for step 6, and now we can move on to step 7, where we're going to add some more facial details to the body of Metagross. Okay, so step 7 is now completed, and of course we have more of the Metagross body done right here. And I gotta say that it's starting to look like the Pokemon one is, which is really good. Really cool, sorry. So I began with the foundation brick of this gray 2x2 right here, and I placed it with the bottom row of pegs directly in between the gray pegs that we've, gray L's that we've done in step 6. And of course hovering in the middle of the body. Then I placed a blue 1x4 and placed it in a vertical position and directly on top of the gray 2x2 that we've done here. And once that was nice and secure, I then grabbed 4 black 1x2, sorry, and placed one here, and then in the exact opposite way on the left side. So it's kind of like a mirror step for this part of the build. Then for both sides, I then grabbed 2 blue 1x8s. Now, if you 1x4s, I don't know why I said that. But if you do have a 1x8, you can actually use that as a replacement for these two. Then I grabbed 2 more blue 1x4s, one here and one here, both in vertical positions. And you have to make sure that on the left side here, the right pegs of the 1x4 are directly over the left side of the 1x4 that we've done here in the front row, and vice versa on this side here. And to help keep everything in line, you have to then grab 2 more 2x3s and place them both in horizontal positions directly in line with the black 1x2 that we've got here and here, which would be a perfect example for using as something of a foundation brick, if you will. Then I grabbed 2 more 1x4s, both again in vertical positions, where they're almost in line with the two at the front right here and here, which is perfect because then we can put on 2 blue L's with the one here having the gap facing the southwest and the one on the right side facing the southeast. Once that was done, I then grabbed one final 2x3 and placed it in between the L's right here, where the bottom 2 pegs are directly away from the L that we've got on the model. So that is it for step 7. We're now going to move on to step 8, where we're going to be adding some more details to Metagross. But before we carry on with this build, I have a fun little message to share with everybody about the channel. Do you like what you see on the screen? The link to the video will be down in the description below, so you can check it out for yourself. But for now, we're going back to the build. And don't forget, guys, you can always check out my Twitch and Kick streams at 11 AM UK time, where I'll be playing games like Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, and Final Fantasy on both pages. And of course, I will also be live streaming on the first Tuesday of each month and on the last streaming day as well. So please do check out my streams, especially when they do go live, and of course what games I will be playing. But well, let's put aside the games for 1 minute because we've got some nanoblock builds to go through. So we've got step 9 completed right here. Sorry, 8, I should say. I began with the foundation brick of a grey 1x2 to start things off and place it in a vertical position at the front part, well, the front half of the 2x2 that we've done. Then I grabbed 2 black 1x2s and place them both in a vertical position directly above the grey 1x2 that we've done, and then the 2 magenta 1x1s here and here, so that it should form Metagross's eyes. And of course, to keep those eyes going, we then place 2 more black 1x2s directly behind the pink 1x1s that we've done. With that completed, I then grab 2 blue 2x3s, both in horizontal positions, directly behind the front 1x2 blacks that we've done here, so that it helps fill in the inside of the body for Metagross. Then 2 blue 2x4s, again in horizontal positions, one on the left side and one on the right side here. And once they are locked in, I then had to grab 2 more 2x4s and place them both in a vertical position next to each other, forming a 2x8, and then place directly above the side 2x4s here and here. And then finally, to keep that rounded metallic body look of Metagross going, we then had to place a blue 1x4 in a vertical position directly above the 2x4s that we've done right here, so that it kind of helps to create that curved effect for Metagross. And with that over and done with, I can then move on to step 9 of the build, where we're going to be working on more of the top of Metagross. Sorry, step 9. I don't know why I'm saying step 10. I'm normally on step 9 now. Okay, so this time I've got it right. We are now done with step 9. I know. I made a big oops, but what can I say? Hey, it's who I am. So let's move on with what I had to do. So I began with this blue 2x4 as the foundation brick in a horizontal position, and I made sure that it was not directly over the grey 1x2 that we've done here, but directly over, well, connecting everything so that gives up that cross metallic sharp look for Metagross that it's known for. Then I grabbed 2 blue L's, where the gap on the left side is facing the southeast, and the one on the right side is facing the southwest. Now, their gaps will be filled by these grey L's, where it's kind of the same effect that we did back in step 6 for the build. Carrying on with that effect. But then we had to grab 2 more blue L's, where it's the same position, but the gaps are filled by the front blue L's that we've done here and here. Then I grabbed 2 more blue 2x3s and placed them in a vertical position directly over the blue L's that we've done, and making sure that the bottom row of pegs is connecting to the top 2 pegs of the 2x4 that we've got here. And then we had to grab another 2 2x3s and place them directly above the 2x3s, but connecting so that it forms a 2x6. And when they were locked in, I had to grab 2 blue 1x1s and place one on the left side and one on the right side on the bottom row of the 2x3s that looked like the 2x6 right here. And then finally, 1 more blue 1x4 right here at the back of the model. So that is that for step number 9. For step number 10, we're going to be finishing off the top of Metagross's head. Step 10 of the build is finished, and yep, we've got the X shape for Metagross done right here, as you can probably see on the camera. So the effect is because of the grey 2x2s we placed right here and here, so that it kind of looks like it's being levitated by the grey L's, but they are in fact supported by the blue L's that we've done on step 9. Then I had to grab a blue 1x2 and place that in the vertical position on the, at least 1 row of pegs away from the, from the 2x4 that we've done on step 9 right here. And then, speaking of the 2x4s, we grabbed 2 more of those, and then connected them so that it forms a 4x3, and place them right here, directly on top of the 1x2 right here at the front. followed by a blue 1x4 here on the, well, directly on top of that to help connect it all together. And then two 1x3s, one here and one here in a horizontal position, so that we've got that nice curved effect from Metagross's head. So that is that all the way up to step 10 of the model, and this is what it should look like after that step. Now we're going to be doing steps number 11 and 15, because they're the exact same thing, but they are at least four steps for 4 parts for that step each. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do both of them at the same time, so that we can save a bit of time on doing the build. Okay, so step 11 and step 15 both have their first parts completed, and it's basically the same for each one. You grab two 1x2s and a 1x3, and you put the 1x2s on the bottom side, the bottom sides of the 1x3, one to the left and the right, so that they kind of form the head of a mallet. And to help connect them both together, they each have a 2x3, so that they are directly over the all the bricks that we've done. And we've also got a blue 1x1 right here and here, so that it kind of looks like a we're working towards building a wooden mallet for each arm. So that is it for part 1 of those 2 steps. Now it's time for me to get to work on part 2, where it looks like we just have to add some connections to them. Part 2 of step 11 is done, which is right here. Part 15, I just thought it would be a good idea to show you what you have to do for each, for this part. So basically you grab two 1x3s and you put one directly in the middle of the 2x3 that we've done, and of course the 1x1 peg each. Then for step 11, you do it, you do another 1x3, and you have to make sure that it's at least one peg away on the bottom left side here, so it kind of looks like this. And then on step 15, we do it on the other side, so it'll look like that. And of course, we also put on a blue 1x1, which I believe I have done the wrong side for the for the other leg, and so it should be like that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is on my fault for not reading that correctly, but it's all fixed and done. Then we place for the next layer, to finish off for each one, a blue L, where at least one peg is directly over the bottom 1x3 for each one. Then a 1x2 on each, connecting here and here. That is it for each one. Now we just need to apply more 1x2s onto each one. We need to do at least 2 each, and then a 1x1 for each for each part, so that it should each look like this. And then this right here, and then a 1x1 on the front part here and here. So that is what it should look like. And now we can attach each one to the rear side of Metagross here and here. So we've done the rear leg, the rear parts of Metagross. Now we just need to do the front parts. Now I'm not going to do the hands just yet, because it's basic. It would actually make a lot more sense to do them all of them at the one. Just saves us a bit of time. So we'll attach them once all the limbs are put together on Metagross's body. Makes it a lot easier. and of course less stress for having to move this around. Okay, so these are both steps 13 and 17 respectively, and each one is a 3-part step which you have to do. So we begin with a 2x3 for each one. Then on the, it doesn't really matter at this point which side of the middle of the 2x3 that we put on the 1x3s here and here, because it's going to be the same regardless. But around each one of them is a 1x1 surrounding the one of the ends, the end of the 1x3, and of course the middle and the corners of the 2x3 that you put it on. So that should be it for part 1 of step 13 and 17. For the next part, all we have to do is add some more 1x3s onto the model. But we also have to add on a L to each one, where this one is here and the other one is there. Then we can attach some more 1x3s to each model, to each one, so that it looks like Metagross has its arms. And then we grab 2 1x2s, one for each, and a 1x1 for each one. So it should look like this and this. And it's all good to go. And now we just attach these onto the model of Metagross, and now it has its arms, and we can just try and secure them onto the model. And now we're ready to move on to doing the hands, which will be steps 12, 14, 16, and 18. But for steps 18 and 14, there's a slight difference between those two, and of course 12 and 16, but I will show you those in a minute once I've taken care of Metagross, and of course begin work on its arms. Okay, first of all, I made a little bit of a mistake, but I easily corrected it. There had to be 2 grey 2x2s underneath the sub-assemblies that we had to do for step 6. It's a really easy fix, and they are now locked in place. Now we've almost done all the arms from Metagross. I've actually done step number 12 and 16, and of course step number 14 right here. But I'm about to do step 18, so that you can understand what you have to do for each arm for Metagross when you do the assembly. So we will put step 16 and 14 here at the back. Sorry, 16 and 12 at the back. And now we can attach them. I assume we'll be ready to attach them onto the model once they stop moving around. There we go. And of course, making sure that they are nicely connected as such. Boom. Boom. Nice and easy fix. Thank you for the tweezers, Kawada. Unfortunately, we don't need to do any more to these. So, there is a little thing that we also have to do, but we'll do that in a moment. So let's actually begin by doing the next arm for Metagross, the next hand. So we begin with the 2 2x3s and 1x3, so it forms like a 5x3, if you will. And of course, we also have to apply some 1x3s on as such. There we go. And then we can attach a 2x3 here and here. so that they are all connected nicely. And then two more 1x3s, one here and one here, so that we've got the base of the hand for Metagross. Next up, what we have to do is, let me just move that there, here and there and there. We can add a little 1x1 to this side of the hand, and then a 2x3 here, and then a 1x3 here directly here. It doesn't matter which way it goes as long as it's placed on the model. Then a 2x3 here, and a 1x3 be located here, nice and tight. And then we can attach another, well, this is the difference between step 18 and 14, and of course step between 14 and 18 and 16 and 12 is these parts right here. So we then attach a 1x3 here and two 1x2s, one here and one here. So that is it for steps number of well, the difference for part 3 for 18 and 14, as we can now add a few more pieces onto each Metagross hand, where they each require a 1x2 and a 1x1, where the 1x1 is under the 1x2, like this, and then we can attach this directly here underneath the hands of Metagross, and we have to do it at least 11 more times. So it should resemble something like these. Then we do it one here, and then one here, and then they'll soon be ready for attachment to the body. But I'm actually going to carry on working on the rest of the gray pieces, so that we'll be ready to do a final assembly in just a moment. We've now done all the gray pieces for Metagross's claws, and we're now ready to attach them onto the body, well, the limbs itself. So we just make sure that they are, well, this little peg right, row of pegs right here is in line with this little 1x1 that we've got here. We attach like so. There we go. Nicely attached. That's one side done. Now we just do it on the other side, making sure that it's nice and connected. Here, one here. Bada boom. And if you do feel like it's a little loose, you can use your tweezers as a sort of stabilizer to help keep everything connected. One here and one here. There we go. And then, once again, one here, and then one the back. And that is it. Metagross, the most formidable psychic steel Pokemon ever in the world of Pokemon. Just don't get caught in its claws when it battles you guys, or else. Did you like my little unboxing video? If you did, why not check out my other content right here? I have a nice little video for a nanoblock set from a video game series, or I have a playlist right here for all of my past builds. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can help the channel grow, and ring the bell to get notified on my latest videos. Happy gaming, guys, and I'll see you at the next unboxing build.